Hey y'all, this is Silvo Shop coming back to you with a run through of underneath the hood on my 1949 Chevy 3100 pickup. A lot of work's been done. Haven't posted for a little while, and I got some questions from folks about, what's under the hood, what have you done? So here we go. Chevy small block 327, came out of a Corvette in the late 60s, early 70s. The same with the master cylinder and reservoir, came out of an old Corvette. Got new brake lines, got one going to the aft, and I got two going up to each of the front rims, or wheels rather, discs. It's going to be kind of hard to show you, but this is my setup on my steering column, my linkage. So it comes out of the Firewall. You will see that I've got a knuckle here at the top to lock it down. One double D ring coming down to one knuckle only. And then it pivots down along this way and goes directly in to the rack and pinion. There is another knuckle down here, but there's very little bend in it whatsoever. It goes basically directly into the rack and pinion. Really an easy setup. It is a tight fit with these shorty headers, but it works. It works really well. I haven't had any binding or any clacking up against the exhaust. So the headers, there is a clearance. It doesn't look like there's a clearance, but there is a pretty decent clearance there. Before I forget, you probably are interested in these pistons that I've installed here. A guy on Facebook gave me the directions. He did it on his. Really turned out great on mine. I got them from McMasters or McMasterCarr.com. McMaster Carr. I don't know if I can link it or not, but I'll include the information in the notes below so that you know what I ordered, so you can maybe use it. The only thing I don't really necessarily like with them is that's the highest the hood will raise with these on it. So I might go with a longer piston length, if you will, than what I got. But it works great. And honestly, I can get up under there. I can do whatever I need. I can work on it with whatever I need to do. Just for insight too, I used original holes. That's the original spring hole up there. And the bottom one is the fourth hole from the Firewall. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on the fender. I just simply used that in that one, and I didn't have to drill anything. I mean, it was perfect fit. Worked out very well. There's the other one. You'll see here that I did chrome out some stuff. I took a blue metallic color, and that's what I painted the block and the intake. I did the brake fluid reservoir the same color, and I need to touch it up because I got some fluid on, I was filling it up and got some fluid on it, so I need to touch that up. If you don't know already, I'm running a Phytech EFI system. I wouldn't do it any other way from here on out on these classic trucks and cars. Very easy, simple way to do it. I haven't tried any other EFI systems, but Phytech I haven't had any issues with. They've been great on customer service as well. You got your alternator, AC compressor, radiator, coolant overflow there, power steering pumps down below. I went with a 2-belt system instead of a serpentine belt or a 3-belt system, which Vintage Air recommends. I did some research, did some asking around. Two belts work great with me, and I haven't had any issues with it. One of the belts goes from the alternator down to the water pump, around the crankcase, around the power steering pump, and then back up. The other goes from the air compressor to the water pump, down to the crankcase, and then back up again. Let's see, if you haven't noticed already, you're probably wondering what's up with the firewall and the inner fender wells. I used Raptor liner to coat basically the entire engine bay, and this stuff is like awesome. I've had a lot of good experience. You can do a bunch of stuff to it and it's not penetrating. I mean, it's good, solid. It's giving me more protection than paint would, and it looks great. I even liked it so much that I did the underside of the hood as well to match. You can get it in different colors, like a tintable form. I went with black. I don't know if I would like any other color, but you can get it tintable. Again, it's Raptor liner. I have found that when I did the hood, it makes the hood much more sturdier and not as flimsy, and plus it protects it. So I'm really, really pleased on how it came out. And again, you can see it on my fender wells. Really turned out good. I mounted the transmission dipstick to the firewall, the oil dipsticks on the other side there. I did try to go with that aluminum, or not aluminum, but the chrome congregated looking hose. It's like chrome looking. It didn't work. That thing, I mean, I almost threw it away immediately. It just started leaking and I wasn't going to mess with it, so just went with this. I did use the housings for each below and the upper. That turned out pretty well. So yeah, that let me tell you this too. So the electric fan, when you're putting on a vintage air, and I've got really good videos of that, so if you guys want to see that, check out my other videos. And by the way, please like and subscribe, if this stuff helps. Truly appreciate it. So I initially put an electric fan on this side, having it be a puller to pull air into the engine bay. And I had a smaller one. It was a smaller unit because that is way too thin right here to put a fan in. So, and it's way too thin to put a mechanical fan there too. So what I ended up doing was I put a full-size electric fan, wired it in, and I just reversed the polarity to where it's now a pusher fan. Yes, it's going through the condenser, it's going through the radiator, but it's blowing air in. And I haven't had any issues. I live down in South Georgia, in the middle of the summer. I have not gone over 200 degrees, maybe a fraction here or there, but not much over 200 degrees at all. It keeps it really nice and cool. So I've really been impressed with that setup. You'll probably notice here that there's a groove here all the way down and across that shouldn't be there. It didn't come that way. I cut it out because the guy that I bought this from had the radiator on the inside of this flange instead of the outside where it should be. And so that moved the radiator into here where this notch was needed. Don't need it anymore, and I'm not paying 150 bucks to get another one. What I will do though is I will make a shroud of some sort to cover it and go all the way back down to really it'll neaten up, plus it'll force that air through the fan and not upwards and out this way. I think that covers pretty much everything, of the under the hood tour. Let me give you a snapshot of that Raptor liner. That's the Raptor. That's what it looks like. It's a black textured finish. That's the Raptor liner. Really good stuff. Again, like and subscribe. Until next time, friends.